I'm Andrew Bielat with Pilot Advisors. I've been doing this work for companies since 1997, well before the term Fractional COO started being used. The question I get most often is a version of, what do you actually do? What does it look like when we engage with you? What does it mean to me? I love these questions because most of what our clients have experienced with outside services is nothing like what we do to support them. First, we don't come in like consultants do to tell you what's broken and tell you what you need to do. We don't come in to fix you. Our engagement design has evolved over the years to create ownership of every insight and every improvement, to the point that by the end, nearly everyone on the team genuinely believes we figured this out ourselves, we made this happen. That's our ultimate measure of success. Our practices are based on practical leadership, organizational performance, team development, and always integrated with change management. We learned early on that the best plan is nothing if not adopted by a critical mass of employees. The first thing that happens when we come in is an introduction and an assimilation process. We show up to listen and appreciate. For the first several weeks, we do a series of private, one-on-one conversations and small group sessions that always begin with positive questions. What are you most proud of around here? What improvements have you been part of that were effective? If you could snap your fingers and make one change to make this place even better, what would it be? We start with pride because it works better than starting with pain. People start to relax, they smile, and within a few days, they're volunteering ideas we didn't even ask for. We build trust. At the same time, we prepare the leadership to explain the purpose and process and how good teams become great teams. No jargon, no fluff. The process is structured but not constrained. We move as fast as the culture and the organization allows. We work shoulder to shoulder, watch how things actually run, and only start digging deeper when your people are the ones pulling us forward. Once that trust and energy are there, and it almost always shows up quickly, the technical work begins. The whole engagement runs on 3 parallel tracks, so momentum is constant, and nothing waits for perfection. Track 1, we like to call low-hanging fruit. Immediate wins that pay back in weeks. Your team spots and captures these, usually starting in week 2 or 3. Track 2 is overcome inertia. These are tactical changes, coordinated moves that bend the performance curve over 3 to 9 months. And track 3 is strategic imperatives, the deeper structural and cultural shifts that generate sustainable leverage. These 3 tracks run through all 5 phases of the engagement. Phase 1, goal and identification and verification. Who do you want to be? What do you want to look like? Phase 2, objective assessment and reality check. Where are you really today versus where you might think you are or thought you were? Phase 3, strategic and tactical planning. This is the roadmap. Now that we know who you really are today, we know who you want to be and how and what you want to look like. Now we put together the strategic and tactical plans. And this is the phase that I think we're proudest of over the years, is the verification of willingness and the cultural alignment. Are you really willing to do what it takes to achieve those strategic and tactical plans and ultimately those goals? That's a critical part that's usually missed in this process. And then phase 5 is execution support and leadership handoff. So we know we're planning to be obsolete towards the end of this project, and our job is to execute with you to the point that you no longer need us. I'm heavy on site for the first 3-4 months, usually 15 to 20 days, walking the floor with you, running leadership sessions in a conference room, pulling data together. I don't tell you what's wrong. I ask questions until the opportunities appear. Most teams lock the practical 3 to 5 year goals in during the first 30 days and can put actual money on the P&L before we finish that first block of visits. Then our job is to deliberately fade, providing only as much presence as needed and working behind the scenes. By month 6 or 7, your team is running the daily huddle, the weekly review, the monthly S&OP meeting. To the masses, I'm just a guy online in the meeting, in the chat, or on the sideline when invited. Individually, I'm actively coaching you and your chosen leaders, usually 6 to 8 people, and regular one-on-one and small group coaching sessions, helping everyone grow into the next version of themselves. By month 12, the average client is already 25 to 40% better on whatever metrics matter most. EBITDA, throughput, cash flow, safety, on-time delivery. Sometimes all of them improve at once, but that's not our expectation. For the skeptics on your team or board who say, just show me the money, it's totally fair. The engagement almost always pays for itself in the first 6 months, just on practical bottom line gains alone. The upgraded leadership team, the deeper trust, the time you get back to work on the future of your business, that value is almost impossible to overestimate, and it keeps paying long after the fees are forgotten. 80 plus companies since 1997 improving our process every time. There are a lot of ways to achieve success. Ours is only fully realized if you and your team feel like you did it yourselves. We want to hear, we were good, but now we're great. If you're running a significant enterprise of any type and you're ready to get your time back, build a team that truly doesn't need you in the weeds, and lock in sustainable 2 to 5% compounded quarterly gains long after we're gone, reach out. We'll have a 45-minute call, no slides, no pitch, just a conversation about where you are and whether this is a right fit for you. We only add a few clients a year, and only when I'm confident we'll get that outcome. Looking forward to hearing your story.